What's going on, everyone? Welcome to QVO Games. My name is Juan. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. This video is going to be a list video of the games to demo at GenCon. These are 15 games that I am extremely excited about playing at GenCon, and I hope to get you just as excited to play those games as much as I am. This is going to be a list for you of 15 games that I think you should try out at GenCon. And I think my list is a little, it varies, it's variable, it's a very varied list. I mean, I don't have all similar games. And I think my taste to other list videos I've seen is a little different. So I'm really excited to share that with you and let me know what you think. Let's get this video going because I really do want to make this a short enough video where you can be walking the GenCon halls and just pull up the video, see the game I mentioned, and go out and look for it and demo it. So let's get this video going. Alrighty. Quartermaster General East Front is my number 15 game. It's going to be 15 different games, and Quartermaster General is going to be one of those games. Hear me out. War-themed games are not my interest. I usually don't gravitate to those type of games. However, one day I opened my mind up and someone said, let's play this game called Quartermaster General. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll play it. And I fell in love with the system of the game. It can be not the theme, history for me, and like war and all that stuff is not interesting to me. It just doesn't really tickle anything, I guess, for me in that theme or genre. But the Quartermaster General was so much fun. It's a card game, and you're going to be playing cards down, similar to like in a way of reaction cards, where you're going to put them down, and if a specific event happens, a card activates doing X thing. And your whole goal in Quartermaster General is to get more points than your enemy by doing so by taking over different locations. And after the round ends, the specific locations are owned by that specific player or that team. They're going to gather points up. And that's Quartermaster General, the original one that I'm mentioning. In East Front, though, that's going to be over at GenCon. It's going to be a 2-player game, and it depicts the deadly struggle between Soviet Union and Germany. And these games typically do that. They grab a specific event in history, a battle in history, and they put it into a game format. And the one I played, Quartermaster General, it was, and I am so bad with history, so you guys are gonna laugh at me. I believe it was World War II. I believe it was World War II. No, it was World War I. It was World War I. That one's about World War I. And in that specific one, you're going to be there's 2 teams of 3 people, 6 players, the Allies and the Axis powers, and those 2 teams are going to go head to head. And your goal is to get more points than the other by by the end of 20 rounds. In the East Front, it's only 2 players, which is the great part about it, because in Quartermaster General, I feel like it plays best at 6. I don't like playing the game at any other player count besides 6. In this one, I can finally play it at 2. So East Front is going to be another game in that line that's going to be a 2-player only game. Try it out. I am telling you, I don't like the theme of war. Like, it just bores me. And everything that's nonfiction just bores me usually. And this really impressed me. I really love the system. And I've played a couple of the other ones, which are 3 players. And there's one there's also another one that's 4 players. And they're pretty good. I like them. I do enjoy the card play and the strategy involved with it. It's very straightforward. You do one action at a time, and there's 20 rounds. So the game's over pretty quick. You have to like really be on it and planning what's going on. But it's an epic experience. I love it. There's a lot of collaboration between people. However, this one's going to be 1v1, of course. But try it out. Check it out. Quartermaster General East Front by A.R.T Games over at GenCon. My number 14, Avant Carde by Resonim. So, Avant Carde is currently on Kickstarter, and I thought it was such a cute little game with like the cards and such and the way it plays. You're collecting art pieces, and when you're collecting these art pieces, you're kind of like also deck building in a sense. And when you build your deck, you want to combo up with the cards you have in your hand to collect more cards, of course, and have the biggest collection. The cool part is this is all like a little box that just rolls out. It rolls out. You can play the game. It just sets up so quick. I thought that was kind of neat, and this is one I want to check out because the Kickstarter's going on, and I want to find out maybe if it's for me or not for me. And make that decision off of that. But I thought it was neat. The game's actually it's actually a pretty good price, nothing too crazy expensive, which I appreciated a lot. Avant Carde by Resonim at GenCon. That's my number 14. Number 13, Cascadia Landmarks, an expansion to Cascadia by Flat Out Games, distributed by AEG, I believe, in collaboration with AEG. Cascadia Landmarks is an expansion of Cascadia. It is an expansion. However, in Cascadia. I missed out on Cascadia. I haven't played Cascadia. So I'm going to take advantage and I'm going to go play Cascadia Landmarks with Cascadia, of course, with the expansion. And I'm going to use that as like my reference to actually go out and do this and play it. I've been wanting to play Cascadia for the longest time. However, there are so many games and too many to play sometimes. And I can't get around to Cascadia. And I don't own it. I don't own it. And I don't want to buy it yet because I have too many to play. Too many games at the moment. Too much to cover. Typical life of a content creator. So Cascadia Landmarks is going to be my excuse to get out there in GenCon and play Cascadia for the first time. I want to experience the fun that everyone is experiencing. So that is going to be my number 13. My number 12th game is going to be Apex Legends, the board game. I got to play Apex Legends already at Gamma, and I have a short that's posted on my channel, and you get a little bit of an overview of the game. I thought this was, I mean, I'm a fan. I'm going to be a little biased here, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the game. Definitely a fan. And fan of the video game, right? And the board game now, so I like a lot. This is going to be a game I'm going to bust out my friends. We're going to go at it, shoot each other up, and go on a TD, like a killing spree on this game, and just experience all these asymmetric abilities, the team-ups and such, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I cannot wait with the different terrain and such, the way it looks. The gameplay itself, I like it. It's very straightforward. It's nothing out of this world crazy, but it's just straightforward. To aim and shoot down, you're not just going to go and just like blast people. You are going to have to put down cards, and the cards that are shuffled up and put down are going to determine how much you hit, or if you even hit, depending on what level you are at and what accuracy you're shooting at, basically, and depending on the gun you're using as well. This game was already on Kickstarter before. However, take the chance to go play it, find out if it's for you. I love highly competitive games like this, and I can't wait to see like how far they take this with a tournament of some sort, and I'm definitely want to participate and join in. Check out Apex, such as the board game, over at GenCon. It's going to be by Glass Cannon Unplugged, who also did the popular game Frostpunk, for the board game specifically. Coming up next, it's going to be my number, I believe, and this is my number 11. I'm losing count. Let's find out. Quartermaster was 15. Avant Carde is number 14. Cascadia Landmarks number 13. Apex number 11 is 20 Strong by Chip Theory Games. 20 Strong, it's a solo game. It's a dice chucking solo game. I got to demo it over at Origins. Thank you, Chip Theory. They gave me the opportunity to demo it. And I do have a copy coming in as well. It's literally a box. Like, it's a small box and a bunch of cards and dice. The coolest thing about this game, it's literally a single player game. You're going to be rolling dice, have a little bit of fun, and also the card art. The card art is beautiful. All the cards look amazing. That's one of my biggest things about the game. I love that about the game. The cards look amazing. If I can get like metal prints of those, I would love to have them. Just like metal prints of those awesome, specifically actually the ones that look really cool, not the scary looking ones. There's some really terrifying ones. In this game, you're going to be chucking dice, trying to aim to a specific number, and you're going to have like a resource pool of dice, and the pool is going to deplete the more you use them. So you got to be mindful when you rest up and gather dice and all those different things. And as you go around and defeat different events or monsters, you're going to also have abilities you can kind of collect and power up. The game is very straightforward, nothing too complicated or complex, and it's a game that you can just put in your pocket, bring it out, play a quick solo game, and put it away. I mean, sometimes if you're one of those people like waiting in line for things that like, I don't know, like waiting for like the next PlayStation 5 or something like that. The PlayStation 5 Spider-Man edition coming out. You take this game, wait in line, sit on the floor, just play a couple games while you wait. Good distraction. It's an awesome, awesome game. It's very simple, straightforward, and I'm a fan. So check it out. 20 Strong over at Chip Theory's booth in GenCon. Coming up next, we're going to move on to my number 10, which will be Ascendancy. So Ascendancy is going to be an awesome 4X worker placement experience game. 4X games lately have been like my hotspot. I love playing 4X games. However, sometimes they take a long time. Also, teaching 4 people while you're playing at the same time a 4X game, sometimes it can be really hard to do that. That's kind of like the determinant of me playing more often. But I want to check out Ascendancy. Ascendancy is mixing two of my favorite things: a 4X game and worker placement. I love worker placement games. And when you throw them together, there's going to be some awesome stuff going on, and as well as some awesome components. And look at these dashboards for players that look incredible. I love it. I cannot wait to try this out at GenCon. I am super, super excited. That is beyond what I know about this game. There's going to be scenarios. You're going to be journeying through multiple generations of stories and such. That is kind of the gist of what I know about this game. I don't know much past that, but I am pumped, because I have read up a little bit and enough to be like, this is something I'm interested in. Ascendancy is going to be over at GenCon. One More Turn Games is the name of the publisher. Coming up next by Mind Clash is going to be Perseverance, Castaway Chronicles, Episode 3 and 4. I haven't played Episode 1 and 2. I've been really afraid of picking those games up because let me show you something incredible. That looks small. That is massive. That is 4 tables, by the way, put together to make this up. This game is a massive table hog. But apparently episode 1, 2, 3, and 4, like episode 1 plays into 2, and episode 2 plays into 3 and 4, and it all follows a story, like a lineage of like stories or tales of like you get to the island, you're trying to survive, you're trying to mingle and like be like survive the dinosaurs that are there, as well as now you're trying to, after you advance in 3 and 4, you're kind of now, oh, now you're friendly with the dinosaurs and trying to like build defenses against other dinosaurs. It sounds incredible. That is my biggest takeaway. I have no clue how the game plays. Beyond that, it just drags me in like, okay, that sounds like an epic experience, like a big epic experience of a game to play and just try out. I want to play it at least once and try to find out for myself if I like it or not. It's a competitive game. It's not cooperative, but it's an evolving strategy game. The game evolves from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. It all goes in line, but it all has different strategies involved with each one. It sounds epic, and I want to play that. I am a big fan of Mind Clash games. I love Anachrony. I haven't played Tricarion. I want to play it, and I am extremely excited for Voidfall to come out. So I want to test this out. I almost got to demo this at Origins. However, it just finding the right time, the right moment to show up. They weren't really taking like appointments. You kind of showed up, and if the table was available, you got to play. Perseverance, Castaway Chronicles at GenCon. Check it out by Mind Clash Games. Coming up next, Kutna Hora, the City of Silver. I am not sure if I'm saying that right, so I'm apologize if I am, but it's going to be by Czech Games, CGE. This is going to be a game that is a little different. This seems a little bit heavier than what CGE is used to, and I am excited to kind of try this out and check it out. It's going to be a Euro game, of course, city building Euro game, and it's going to have a really interesting supply and demand, like market economy going on along with the game. Kind of done by this market board. Let's see if I can find it. It's on the right here, but I want to see if I can find a better picture. Look at how cool those tiles look. Look amazing. Let's see if I can find this. It's going to not be on BGG. Also, actually, here it is. I'm sorry. It's going to be like a little board that's determined how like the economy works in the market. And I'm pumped. I'm pumped to try this out. I'm a fan of CGE. I love a lot of their games. Under Fallen Skies. I love Lost Ruins of Arnak. And you'll even see my love a little bit later and why I love that game. I also love Under Fallen Skies, and that's Under Fallen Skies, Lost Ruins of Arnak, and I also played the game, the name just left, Starship Captains. The name left my mind. Starship Captains. I cannot wait to try this one out. It's going to Kutna Hora, the City of Silver, and it's by CGE. Coming up next by the Scorpion Mask, and it's going to be Dead Cells. And it's going to be my number 6 game on my list. Dead Cells, the Rogue-Lite board game. Dead Cells was a video game, and now it's turned into a board game. It has a dungeon crawling cooperative experience. I love cooperative games, and I love dungeon crawlers, hence why I have so many, but yet they're all unplayed. I want to play Dead Cells really bad. I want to try it out. I played the video game, and I like the video game. Didn't beat the video game or pass it yet. I do want to go back to it and finish it. And I want to play the board game. I want to try it out for myself. It was on Kickstarter, and supposedly this is kind of bringing the Metroidvania genre into board gaming. The game's supposed to play pretty quick and easy, and I want to try that out. I want to play that. I love the art already, how it looks, and I want to check it out for myself over at GenCon. This is going to be Dead Cells, my number 6. My number 5 is going to be Unmatched Adventures Tales to Amaze by Restoration Games. Unmatched is probably one of my favorite dueling card systems, and now they're bringing that into a cooperative board game. This game was on Kickstarter. This game should be shipping soon, apparently. They had like a really interesting like release date for this. Like, I think you backed it back in May, June, I believe, and like it released in August. It was really quick turnaround, so I'm assuming the game was practically already made. I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. It's a cooperative board game. They're going to bring in some new characters. You can use characters from other unmatched boxes and bring them into this adventure as well, which I'm definitely bringing out the Marvel ones. But this is going to be Unmatched Adventures Tales to Amaze at GenCon by Restoration Games, and apparently it will be there to demo, which I am pumped for. My number 4 game is going to be The Art Project. The players work together to recover stolen art by the Op. The op is going to be helping distribute, also as well as Lumberjack Studios is kind of the creator of this as well. This is going to be over at the ops location, right? That's going to be where you can check out this game. In this game, I don't know much about it, past the fact that you're trying to recover stolen art to successfully achieve different mission cards. What really brought me was like the box cover as well as the name. I'm like I love art in general, and this game is going to be a cooperative game. Cooperative games are really easy to bring out to the table for me, because usually in my household it's a preference over cooperative over competitive games. Doesn't mean I don't play a lot of competitive games. I definitely do, because I go out to game nights every week, multiple times a week, and we play a lot of competitive games. But co-op games can be played at home fairly easy. I want to check out the art project. It's just kind of like, I don't know much past the fact of the cooperative system, as well as the mission cards and some hype that's been around that's on Twitter and on Instagram and such. So I'm excited. The art project at GenCon, and I am pumped to check it out. My number 3 is going to be Tesseract. Tesseract is a game that I mentioned in my Origins top video that I was wanting to check out. So in Tesseract, the biggest thing is there is a mysterious cube that appeared out of nowhere, and scientists, aka you, are trying to uncover it, unravel it, and see exactly what it is. And you're gonna be taking actions to unravel different pieces of this cube, and as you're doing so, you're going to be trying to solve the puzzle of what's going on. You have action points that you're doing this. It's going to be by Smirk and Laughter Games, who also released some other popular games. And this is going to be a cooperative game, and you're going to be doing so, trying to unravel this and achieve the different conditions that are set before you. The biggest thing about this game, the table presence. I mean, look at that awesome cube of dice. That is super, super neat. I really want to check this game out, like really bad. And so I'm hoping I can schedule like a time to try it out, or reach out to them, see if they can just pencil me in or something, because I really want to check this out. It's your dice manipulating. It's a cooperative game. Like I said, cooperative games are easy for me to table at home. It's just super easy. So Tesseract by Smirk and Laughter. It's going to be my number 3. My number 2 is going to be The Last of Us Escape the Dark by Theme Born. Last of Us Escape the Dark is based off the Escape the Dark Castle system, which I believe are right here. Escape the Dark Castle, Escape the Dark Sector. I don't know if you can see on my camera. I believe you can, but I have them here. I have them both. Dark Castle was the first one. Dark Sector was the next one. Escape the Dark Sector, Escape the Dark Castle. This one is going to be basically those games with a little more mechanics, and then put the Last of Us theme on it. Last of Us was one of my favorite video games. Last of Us was one of my favorite video games. I love that game so much. That's the only game I've ever replayed like 4 or 5 times. I loved it. And now they're bringing it into this system here, along with this beautiful cover art. This one's beautiful too, and that's just a little terrifying, very terrifying, but it's gorgeous. And there's going to be involving miniatures of some of your favorite characters from the game as well, and it's going to be a map where everything's going to go. Typically in this game, it's a dice chucking game, but it's cooperative. You're going to be throwing dice, and when you throw the dice down, you're trying to match symbols on enemies, and symbols were like an eye or a fist for power, and something else. It was like a little kind of like star looking thing. And you're trying to just match up the symbols and defeat them, but as you're doing so, you're also feeling like, oh, maybe you should stay back this fight and recover one, and we'll fight them off. And you're trying to just manage the level of risk as you kind of go in, because you also have to keep in mind, you don't really just refresh health. You have like a certain amount of hit points, and once they run out and someone dies, the game's over. But you also have to go through like the system, which different events and different encounters, and then at the end of the game, you're going to fight a boss. That's typically how these work. Dark Castle is simpler. Then Dark Sector adds in some more mechanics, which is like laser cannons and such, and a flanking mechanic, a blocking mechanic, a little drone to heal up. It gets crazier. So I'm excited to see what they do with this, especially if they have it to demo, which they will. And I am pumped. I love the system a lot. It's a very simple game, but it just adds a little bit of like, it's a good way to introduce people to new games. And I think Last of Us Escape the Dark is going to be a little different. It's going to be a little more harder, I guess. And that's what I'm looking for. A little more heavier on the mechanics as well. That's going to be my number 2 game. My number 1 game that I want to demo is going to be Ark Nova Marine Worlds by Capstone Games. So it's kind of interesting. The crazy part is that this is kind of like really close. It's really, really close to like the rest of the games, because it's close to my Last of Us one. I'm excited for Last of Us, but hear me out. Ark Nova, I think it's a great game. I really like it and enjoy it. I really can't wait. And this is kind of like something I'm really excited to try out, only because I liked Ark Nova, and now being able to play it on BGA was like a super eye-opening thing on Board Game Arena, right? I get to play it over and over again, and I have a lot of fun. I really, truly enjoy playing the game. So I am extremely excited to see what this adds or changes to it, because this is the first time I've ever been like interested in like I don't know, like it's like a heavy game that I'm like really invested into. Keep in mind, people say like Ark Nova over Terraform Mars and all these comparisons. I never played Team Mars. I never played Terraform Mars. So I'm excited to try Ark Nova Marine Worlds and see how the expansion changes up the game. I am pumped and excited to try this change compared to other games as well, where I'm also really excited. Ark Nova Marine Worlds is my #1 game. So I really, really want to try this expansion out for Ark Nova. I like Ark Nova. I have a copy there, actually. You might be able to see it in the camera. And it's a game that I don't get to bring out in person often, but I do get to bring it out. I get to play it on BGA a lot. So I'm excited to see how this game changes things, what it adds to it, and experience that for myself and see how it goes. Thank you for making it as far into the video. I appreciate you watching it all this way through. That is super awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll be at GenCon, and if you see me and reach out to me, let me know, say hi. Love to play a game, hang out. I love meeting new people, love talking about games. Let me know what you've played. I just want to meet you. So if you do, and you're at GenCon, if you are there and you see me, say hi. I probably won't be wearing a hat because I'm actually going to do my hair and get it cut because I have it really long and heavy now, hard to do, but I'll be there. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate it, and I'll see you at GenCon.